perfect. An open table for two. Just what I was looking for. Have a seat with me, would you? Now then, I'm sure you're wondering why I've decided to bring you out here for pizza. Well, it's a funny story, really. You see, in all of my years as a galactic land shark, I've met many fools, many annoying or otherwise insignificant creatures who I've all felt were beneath me. However, in your case, I find your company to be rather enjoyable, and so I thought, why not? Let us buy pizza for myself and my good friend here. Now, of course, as Lord Frieza, very few people are brave enough to actually accept or decline such a proposal, not knowing exactly what will befall them. And who can blame them? I mean, last time, why, I melted the man's legs off. It was quite funny. You know, I could not tell which had melted more, his skin or the cheese on the pizza. But I digress. I'm sure you're not interested in hearing about that before we eat. Now, from what I've experienced here at this pizzeria, I find that the food is best when ordered at random. You take a look at the menu and you just see whatever you feel. I, for one, often feel sadistic, and so I choose sometimes anchovies, picturing the little fish sitting on the pizza, squirming for their lives as they were thrown into the can. Oh, it's quite amusing. As for you, what kind of topping would you put on your pizza? Quite honestly, I find anchovies are rather disgusting, but the sense of sadism that it fuels is really why I do it. But today perhaps we'll try something different. Did you know that none of these Earth pizzerias deliver to space? I have ordered countless times, and I've had to send some of my lackeys to go pick it up. Now, I often question why I don't simply destroy this planet, and there have been many obstacles in my way to prevent it. But we won't go into that. I will instead enjoy the fine Italian cuisine presented to me and you on this fine afternoon. You know, pizza really is just a matter of adding some bread, cheese, and of course sauce, but there are so many things very interesting about it. Sometimes when I get different toppings, I look at the pizza and I imagine different planets in the galaxy that I've conquered. Sometimes I'll think of the pepperonis as different little playing pieces in my galactic empire. Sometimes I'll even think of the waiters as honorary members of the Frieza Force. It's a lot of fun, trust me. But I digress. You know, I've heard that Italian pizza is very popular all over the world. Now, I, for one, have only ever eaten it at this one establishment. I like the authentic Italian air of the entire place. The employees speak Italian, and of course, the country itself is shaped like a boot. Now, I don't know about you, but the very thought of a country stepping on other countries fills me with all sorts of excitement. Though I must admit, I often feel a tad discriminated against when I think of Italy's boot. I do not have the same kind of feet as those pathetic humans, so I cannot wear them. Why would they discriminate against me, Lord Frieza? Why can I not wear a wonderful country-shaped boot? Now, I know that you're probably still figuring out your pizza toppings, but it's probably a good time to tell you, don't worry about it. I placed the order before we arrived. I was just curious what toppings you would have chosen had I given you the choice. Do forgive me for being so devilish. Anyway, I believe that is our pizza. Yes, you there. Please place this pizza here on top of the table where I might eat it with my friend. Excellent. You may leave us. Oh, yes. I do love the smell of a freshly baked pie. What about you? What do you think of the smell? Interesting. Well then, let us take a little slice for ourselves, shall we? Oh, it is exquisite, though a bit hot. I, for one, am not afraid of a little mouth burning. If I were, I would not be fit to lead the Frieza force or conquer the galaxy. You know, I really do enjoy pizza. But I don't tell many people about that. You see, they'd all try to get on my good side, and I can't have that. Well, I can have them trying to get on my good side, but I prefer to see authentic, forward initiative. You know, I often like to show this very cruel, sadistic side of me, and do believe me, that is very much who I am. But there's also the side of me that does enjoy the occasional companion. You know, I like to think of my good, beautiful subordinate, Captain Ginyu. Yes, he was quite bizarre, he was quirky and unusual, but the man knew loyalty. Why, I don't think he feared me so much as he respected me. And you know something? I really appreciated that. He was quite unusual with his dancing and morale, and it sometimes did make me feel a bit queer, but I personally could not be more grateful to have such a loyal leader working under my Frieza force. Why, I think of what the Ginyu Force achieved working together, conquering planets for me, just the 5 of them, and goodness, it was wonderful. And then, of course, Captain Ginyu would do his little dances for me. It was like when you go to a restaurant and tell them it's your birthday, only it was like every day was my birthday. Oh, Captain Ginyu, how I miss you. You will please not repeat that to any of the men. Now, yes, as I was saying, it's delightful when people put forward the initiative and show me that they themselves have more to them than just fear. It's fun to see them squirm, but it's not as satisfying as seeing someone like Ginyu stepping forward and showing that they care, not that they're afraid of me, but that they love me. You know, I don't live for things like love, and I'm certainly far too sadistic to care, but it does warm my frosty heart. Did you know, supposedly, in human history, the Romans, for whom Italy is known, were actually conquerors as well? Oh yes, they did quite a few unusual things, from enslaving humanity that they conquered to simply enjoying the luxuries of life while pursuing greatness. To be great was to be excellent, and to be excellent was the example of being Roman. Oh, you know, these humans, they make good food, and they are far too weak to ever contend with me personally, but I find their history to be somewhat fascinating when I'm thinking of new innovative ways for conquest. Though they've only lived on a small blue rock, I have learned so very much about different tactics for annexing other planets, using not just force, but also advanced cruelty. That Julius Caesar once salted the earth so nothing would grow. Can you believe that level of sadism? It inspires me. You know, I really don't understand why these humans make such a fuss about crimes against humanity. Honestly, I do not see a single person speaking up in my empire. I've always silenced my dissenters, so why can't the humans get their act together and do the same? I've seen such glorious horrors of war, such travesties of genocide, and yet the humans denounce them like some kind of problem? What on earth, literally, is going on here? This planet is ruled by fools who've no sense of the might and greatness of what comes with absolute power. They have no sense of dignity. They disgust me. But I must concede, they make wonderful food. And so for this reason I shall leave them be for now. Oh, would you look at the time? It seems we have to get back. I tell you what, you leave the tab to me, And go ahead and wait outside. I will get this all boxed up so we can bring it home and enjoy it on our way back. All right, then. Well, thank you so very much for joining me for this wonderful pizza luncheon. I do greatly appreciate you. And once again, do not tell anyone about this more tender side to Lord Frieza. I'd begin to expect they would probably stop fearing me, at which point I would have to kill them. And then, well, you understand. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Excuse me, waiter. I'd like my check.
L'ambasciatore e ne fa vale più una parolina del mio